Hello YouTube, it's me, Bergie, and I'm back with another book review. In this review, I'm going to do something a little different. I'm going to review 2 books at a time, and that's because they're by the same author, Dan Brown. So I have Digital Fortress and Deception Point. Now, I love Dan Brown as an author. Last summer I read the Da Vinci Code series, or Angels and Demons and that kind of stuff, all of those books. And I really enjoyed his writing style. So I was like, hey, I don't have any books that I need to read at the moment, so let's go read his other books. And these were just as great as his other series. I have to say, though, I like Da Vinci Code and all those books a little bit more because I like what is happening in them and how he connects them to like different artists and that kind of stuff and different like conspiracies. But these are still good. And I'm not really going to go into detail with each specific book. I'm just going to say what they kind of have in common. Because Dan Brown does have a very distinctive style. He deals with kind of, I wouldn't say necessarily mysteries or adventures. It's kind of like a mixture of both. It's just very like, oh, you're in the book and you feel, that was a great description right there. You just feel like, I don't know, not even just urgency, it's just, you're excited. You're very, like, in the moment. You're wanting to find out what happens next. As with the Da Vinci Code series, he is very great in making you want to learn more about specific topics. In Digital Fortress, it was more about code writing and cryptology and that kind of stuff. And in Deception Point, it was kind of like about NASA and meteorites and the like. But yeah, he just, I don't know, the way he writes about these different topics, it just makes you want to know as much as you can about them. It might just be me, because I just like knowledge in general. I just want to know as much as I can as possible. And he really kind of makes them seem fun or interesting. So that's always a good thing to get interested in other topics. He also has a lot of plot twists, I guess you can call them, in their book. They're not necessarily plot twists because he kind of gives you clues as to what the bad guy is in the book or the bad group of people or whatever. But you at the beginning of the book, you think of one person. And then other information arises, you think it's another person. Other information arises and you think it's yet another person. Then you like go back to who you first initially thought, and then you keep on going in like a circle. And then for Digital Fortress, you kind of, one of the people that you thought originally was actually the bad guy. But in Deception Point, the bad guy is someone who you were like, you didn't even suspect. And I guess in those ways it's kind of plot twisty because you have a different idea of what's going to happen and your mind changes and twists. And also in both of these books, they're very smart people. Like I said, it's cryptology and people working for NSA, which is a very like, it's a private government sector, I think. And then NASA and the NRO are in this book. Yet other different like government, very high up, very intelligent sectors, I guess. And for being smart people, they are like so dumb at some point. Like, I know it's bring suspense, like they're not knowing what's happening, because it's supposed to, I guess, get you not to question what you're thinking and stuff. But honestly, at the points that I'm talking about in each book, they just, how are they in the fields that they are when the answer is simply right there? Like, I know for Digital Fortress, they were given like a clue for the password, and the clue that they were given, like, it was right there. And I figured people in this business in cryptography and stuff, they'd kind of know more about science, I think, or would understand science more than someone in, say, English or whatever, because they deal with numbers and stuff, and I figure science and math is kind of, usually grouped together. You kind of need to know math to know science, and it's kind of good to know a little bit of basic science for math, although in that respect it's not as necessary as the other way. But still, like I haven't done chemistry since my senior year of high school. And yeah, I did AP chemistry, so I did learn a lot about chemistry. But still, it was a simple thing. And it just right over their head. The same kind of thing happened in here. Like, when you see a hole that has little orange, construction cones around it, you will not go near it, because you will guess that there is a hazard if you are inside that little circle of cones. And no, what was he? I think he was a archaeologist, actually. That's kind of funny. But he was like a very profound archaeologist. He was very well known, very intellectual. But no, he goes inside the cones that are clearly there for your protection, so you don't die and stuff. And what does he do? He ignores it and goes there, and he dies. Not surprisingly enough, he just... Sometimes, I know my mom has told it to me all the time, sometimes the smartest people just have no common sense. And it's hilarious, but it's bad, honestly. Just so bad. Especially, I don't know which one was worse. I think this one was worse, because at least for Digital Fortress, you kind of had to do chemistry in order to get the answer, but still, it was right there in front of them, in front of a whole bunch of intellectual mathematicians. And I don't know, I figure that they would know better. I don't know. I try to say differences between them, but they're kind of similar. Their basic plot is kind of the same. They both have different life or death chases and that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that they're literally the same book, because they're great different books. They just have some similarities, which has to do, I guess, with Dan Brown's writing style. But, yeah, I guess the only real obvious differences, without going into more of the story, this is about cryptology and computer programs and that kind of stuff. And this is about NASA and politics and NRO and that kind of stuff. But yeah, I did enjoy both books very much. It just proves that I do like Dan Brown as an author, and it wasn't just the Da Vinci Code series, which is good because I feel very grown up reading Dan Brown, because he is a more mature writer than what I usually read, so that's always a good thing to feel more mature. But yeah, I definitely recommend any of Dan Brown's books. They're really good, and I think they're a really good gateway to adult books. I mean, I haven't read many more adult books, but it makes me want to read more adult books, which is good, because I can't keep on reading young adult or kid books all the time. So yeah, these were really good. I hope you liked my review on this and it wasn't too all over the place. But yeah, please share this video, please comment if you read Dan Brown, or if you have any other adult novelists or authors and that kind of stuff that you recommend me checking out. And please subscribe if you haven't already. So yeah, bye!